The potato breeding program at Plant and Food Research has two different markets it needs to deliver new cultivars for, as Potatoes New Zealand's Champak Mehta explains.
So there are two kinds of traits that we look for in the potato industry. The fresh sector is looking for value-added traits, and those value-added traits are things like nutritional profile, colour and flavour, and cooking quality. The processing sector looks at things slightly differently. They're after productivity traits such as tuber size and shape, resistance to disease, and tuber quality as well. So those two are two quite different focuses, and so the breeding program that we have tries to address both of those different requirements.
New Zealand growers supply potatoes not only for the domestic consumer, but also processed for export as crisps and fries. Whilst fresh potato varieties should look and taste good, processing potatoes must have very precise traits to be used by the processor.
For starters, we need the right shape of potato. It needs to be ideally a blocky potato. We need the right size and the right size distribution. We want potatoes that are resistant to sugar development, or while processing those sugars burn brown and you end up with blotchy or brown potatoes, or chips rather. And the other very important thing is specific gravity. You want higher specific gravity in your tubers. Over 1.1 it's too hard on our machinery. Too low a specific gravity means it costs us too much to try and recover sufficient French fries from the raw product. From a processor's point of view, it is important that the grower gets a good yield. The better the grower does, and the more economically we can buy those potatoes, the better chance we've got of competing internationally on the international market selling French fries.
So a significant part of our program is in the crisping business on the process side, and we've seen significant improvements in our varieties, particularly with reduced losses to sugars, and part of that is from Fraser, which is a plant and food variety which is very, very strong in terms of resistance to cold-induced sweetening, and that's been a significant advantage to us in supplying a very hard-to-supply period of the annual production cycle, particularly August through to November. The values at that time are very high, and so the profit per hectare is excellent for a grower that can supply that slot. And Plant and Food have had a significant part to play in our success at that particular window.
Ensuring new cultivars can maintain or increase grower efficiency is also key to a successful processing industry.
We've got a certain set of problems in New Zealand with growing raw potatoes, and if we can breed or develop varieties that overcome these issues, it's very important. For example, if we can breed varieties that are psyllid resistant, that would be a huge boon to New Zealand. Not only New Zealand, but of course other countries in the world that have got the problem as well.
The advantage of Plant and Food's breeding program in New Zealand is that it's varieties that are well suited to the New Zealand climate, as opposed to using a European or an American variety. And so we always find that our locally bred varieties tend to perform well in drought or in cold or wind or the local conditions, local soil types, and so we know they will perform true to type, not just from something that we've seen on a report out of Europe or out of America, for example.
New potato cultivars that meet the New Zealand conditions and have the right characteristics for both growers and processors will allow the industry to become more efficient and more profitable, as well as grow export income for New Zealand.